Starting overnight as the base for the gold rush of 1849, San Francisco quickly became the largest and most important population, commercial, naval, and financial center in the American West. Welcome to our animated show of history. This episode presents how San Francisco became the financial and technological center in the American West. The earliest evidence of human habitation in what is now the city of San Francisco dates to 3000 BC. Native Americans who settled in this region found the bay to be a resource for hunting and gathering, leading to the establishment of many small villages. Collectively, these early Native Americans are now known as the Ohlone, and the language they spoke belonged to the Miwok family. Their trade patterns included places as far away as Baja California, the Mojave Desert, and Yosemite. The earliest Europeans to reach the site of San Francisco were a Spanish exploratory party in 1769, led overland from Mexico by Don Gaspar de Partola and Fra Juan Crespi. The Spanish recognized the location with its large natural harbor to be of great strategic significance. A subsequent expedition led by Juan Bautista de Anza selected sites for military and religious settlements in 1774. In the early 19th century, whaling ships and traders came to the bay. Then in 1821, Mexico, which included California, gained independence from Spain and became a republic. Then in 1828, Jedediah Smith crossed the Sierra Nevada mountains to reach San Francisco Bay. An Englishman called William Richardson founded a settlement by San Francisco Bay in 1835. He called it Yerba Buena. During the 1830s and early 1840s, many Americans came to live in the new settlement. Then in 1864, the USA annexed California. On July 9, 1846, USS Portsmouth sailed into San Francisco Bay, and sailors and Marines went ashore and raised the U.S. flag. The little settlement of Yerba Buena was renamed San Francisco after the bay on the 30th of January, 1847. At that time, San Francisco only had a population of about 800. The California Gold Rush started in 1848 after a man named James Marshall discovered gold. It led to a large boom in population, including considerable immigration. Between January 1848 and December 1849, the population of San Francisco increased from 1,000 to 25,000. The population boom included many workers from China who came to work in the gold mines and later on the Transcontinental Railroad. The Chinatown district of the city became and is still one of the largest in the country. This rapid growth complicated city planning efforts, leaving a legacy of narrow streets that continues to characterize the city to this day. By 1853, the gold bloom was ending. Then in 1859, Henry Comstock discovered silver. Unlike gold, the silver required expensive equipment to extract, so a number of silver barons were the main beneficiaries. Meanwhile, businessmen dreamed of a transcontinental railroad. It was completed in 1869. During the late 19th century, San Francisco continued to develop. In 1870, San Francisco had a population of almost 150,000. By 1900, San Francisco had a population of over 300,000. On April 18, 1906, a devastating earthquake resulted in the rupture of over 270 miles of the San Andreas Fault from San Juan Bautista to Eureka, centered immediately offshore of San Francisco. The quake is estimated by the USGS to have had a magnitude of 7.8 on the Richter scale. Water mains ruptured throughout San Francisco, and the fires that followed burned out of control for days, destroying approximately 80% of the city, including almost all of the downtown core. Afterwards, about 28,000 buildings were destroyed and 250,000 people were made homeless. The exact number of dead is not known. Yet after the earthquake, San Francisco was rebuilt. Many grand new buildings were erected in the early 20th century. Halliday Building was erected in 1917. Saints Peter and Paul Church was built in 1924. Coit Tower was built in 1933. Work on the Golden Gate Bridge began in 1934 and it opened on the 27th of May, 1937. During World War II, San Francisco was the major mainland supply point and port of embarkation for the war in the Pacific. It also saw the largest and oldest enclave of Japanese outside of Japan. Japantown completely emptied out many of its residents as a result of Executive Order 9066 that forced all Japanese of birth or descent in the United States to be interned. After World War II, the city continued to develop as a major business city throughout the 20th century. Starting in the latter half of the 1960s, San Francisco became the city most famous for the hippie movement. In recent decades, San Francisco has become an important center of finance and technology. The high demand for housing driven by its proximity to Silicon Valley and the low supply of available housing has led to the city being one of America's most expensive places to live. San Francisco is currently ranked 9th on the Global Financial Centers Index. Thank you for watching. Please check out our other animations on history, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.